What was a pretty entertaining game for throughout most of the runtime. The Chicago Bulls still come up with the loss against the Boston Celtics. Once again, sitting like they're on that spiral after being close to 500. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
DeMar DeRozan leads the way as Chicago Bulls have 6 players that score in double digits. He leads the way, though, with 28 points in that game, going 12 of 19 from the field with 9 assists, 6 rebounds in this game, 1 block as well from DeMar DeRozan. And then you have both Nikola Vucevic, who goes 7 of 10 with only 2 rebounds in the game. Wow, Vooch with only 2 rebounds in the game. He has 14 points. Alex Caruso goes 5 of 8 for 14 points as well. Ayo Dosunmu, another player with 14 points. Then you get Kobe White, who goes 3 of 11 for 11 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. That rounds out that starting lineup. And then you had Dalen Terry, who had himself a heck of a game, leading the bench in minutes with 20 minutes in this game. He goes 5 of 8 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point range for 3 rebounds and 12 points off the bench for Dalen Terry. Torrey Craig has 11 points. He goes a perfect 4 of 4 from the field. And then you got Andre Drummond, who gets 7 points, 6 rebounds in this game coming off the bench as well. Terry Taylor only checks in for a minute. It's garbage time. It doesn't matter. No Javon Carter. I'm sorry, Javon. No Javonte Green in this game. No Javon Carter either, for that matter. That's not a bad thing. But those are the 2 players that got DMPs off the bench. And then when you look at the flip side of it, they had three players that score over 20 points in this game, with Jason Tatum with 26. Then you get Al Horford with 23, who went 5 of 10 from the 3-point line. Sam Hauser as well with 23 points. And then you get Pritchard off the bench, leading that team off the bench with 15 points. Oh, Derek Wright with 17 points as well for the Boston Celtics. In this game, the Celtics go 21 of 48 from 3-point range. The Bulls go 9 of 24. That's, again, the simple math problem we talked about. The Bulls only lost this game by 11 points. But when you look at the number of three-pointers generated, the Boston Celtics generated 63 points off 3-pointers in this game. The Chicago Bulls, only 9 3-pointers made, not even 30 from them, 27 from them. So it's just not enough. And that's what it comes down to. You know, when we talk about the Bulls changing their shot profile, things like that. Second chance points also killed the Bulls today. 23 second chance points by the Boston Celtics, only 2 for the Chicago Bulls. Points in the paint, the Bulls did dominate that, 54-38. It's not enough in this game, and that's what it comes down to. That was this, to not oversimplify it. This was a game where the Bulls just got outclassed, outplayed against a team with more talent on it. That's just what this was. And there's no real way around that to sugarcoat it. The Bulls did not have the talent to match the Boston Celtics. They just didn't. And so, you know, it's unfortunate that the Bulls are going to have now yet another loss after being so close to 500, right? We could taste it right back now, below 3 games below 500 with 11 games now left on the season. So we're winding this schedule on down. We're going to be in the final 10 games of the season after we play on Monday. And it's going to be an important 10 games for the Bulls to see how they go over this stretch, especially with the Atlanta Hawks winning tonight. So that means they close at least a game gap on the Chicago Bulls in the standings. So the Bulls have, you know, the Hawks are on their own losing streak. They now win one. The Bulls now lead over them, falls to 2.5 games lead over them with only 11 left to play. So I know that the Bulls are still all set to basically make the play-in, but it's just going to be if they can stay above the Atlanta Hawks, and that's not necessarily as a sure thing as what it looks like. So, you know, that's where you got to look at with that. Shay in the building says, boys and girls, this is what good coaching versus bad coaching will get you. That's 100% fact, Shay. Fact, Drum had 3 to 4 times a rebound and Vooch had in half the time. Is so embarrassing. Vooch they do keep him away from the bucket, especially more on offense. But I mean, it's that the rebounding number from Vooch is unacceptable. I don't care how far they keep you from the basket. As a damn near 7-footer out there, it was unexcusable for Vooch to have the number of rebounds he had today. We're going to change the shot profile for next season. AK bitch ass MFer didn't change shit except for the jar of Vaseline he used to F this team. No, I mean, we had some changes on this team. Torrey Craig, I think, would be making a lot of changes for this team had we stayed fully healthy, right? And then you look at Javon Carter just not being what he was going to be. But those are always changes in the margins, not like major changes to this team. I can't believe that Dell and Terry. Typos early on. Had a good game, and Craig actually was hot from 3-point line, but Billy Donovan elected not to go to any of them. Well, you could tell Dalen was gassed. Yeah, you could tell by Dalen Terry's face. I get it, and I know we always say ride the hot hand, but Dalen Terry was gassed out. I make bets with my girl. If the Bulls win, I get okay. All right. Well, Lloyd, have fun with that. The fact that both our big men got out rebounded by two big men who aren't known for rebounding, and not only that are known as bad rebounders. Ugly game. Ugly game. The Bulls got crushed on the boards, but besides that, I really can't get mad at this loss. Celtics are the best team in the league. I mean, yeah, it's always gonna be tough. Always gonna be tough when the Chicago Bulls play a team like this. This is why when people are like, "Oh, well, we make it to the first round, yeah, and do what? Win a game, if that." Fuck, f this, no cutting, can't shoot, bum ass team. That's funny. The lack of movement out the ball is seriously concerning. It's probably the most concerning thing without this team, as you saw today, right? Like when we had players that moved without the ball, and like we got easy buckets or easy lay-ins. Like I don't understand why we are a team that just refuses to move without the ball. Not saying it would have changed much, but that tech on Terry was BS. What was supposed to do? Land on Derek White or let go and fall on his head because he damn near sideways? I said that too. Like, yeah, he hung on the rim, but it was more because of the momentum. Like he dunked it with a lot of force. The momentum, had he let go, he would have slipped and busted his ass. Love the effort the Bulls played. Will just ran out of gas and can't be mad. They were in it till the end. Yeah, I mean, yeah, despite all the second chance points and 3-point discrepancy, it was close. Understand that we're not a good 3-point shooting team, but at the end of the day, play some goddamn defense and make the game a lot closer because we were in the game for a long period of time. That one's from Shea. I mean, the second chance point is the biggest thing that killed the Bulls. The Bulls couldn't get or stop a run. There were so many times where the Bulls played really good initial defense on a possession, but then they got the rebound or they got the second offensive rebound. And at that point, your defense is kind of out of position already. For a defense is already weak at defending the 3-point shot. It just got ugly for the Bulls. It really got ugly for the Chicago Bulls tonight. Hey, that's just it. If the Bulls lose the 3-point battle, they have to win the game, have to win the second chance points and fast break points battle to even things out. Facts, 100% there. You gotta make up that discrepancy for something, right? And that's why our forced turnover, so you can get out in transition, get some easy buckets yourself. Those are things that you want to look for. Vooch is like when we had Paul back in the day. The numbers look nice, but they don't fit well with other team system. Vooch look like the odd man out of the defense offense. In offense, especially sometimes defense is always going to look like the odd man out. Like I said, if DeMar DeRozan, for example, I'm not just going to say a different player, but if DeMar DeRozan was more of a threat from 3-point range, you see more room for Vooch to kind of do his things. Him and DeMar like to start their offense in the exact same spots. That's difficult for players. So, and that goes back to this front office and the way that they've constructed this team and not really understanding why some of the things aren't working, right? Feeling every emotion after this one. After that one, the one positive was watching these kids hustle and mature. Boston, some grown ass men though, praying to the basketball gods for a real change this offseason. We'll see. We will see what happens, man. Boston knows exactly how to utilize their bench rotations. BD should take note. I mean, listen, Billy Donovan, I'm sure the only thing that he took from me asked Joe Mazzulla, hey man, what brand of gum is that? What brand of gum is that? That's what I need to unlock my next coach. I'm gonna use your brand of gum. Matter of fact, can I have your gum? No, not the piece. Can I have the gum the piece that's in your mouth right now? Can I get that piece of gum, Joe Mazzulla? That's what Billy Donovan was saying out there. That's what. Listen, maybe it can be transferred through osmosis. Maybe good coaching genes can be transferred that way. I have no idea, but hey, we can hope so. We can pray, right? We can pray. Haize, another thing is it me or the Bulls not running as much as they were in January, December? I think yes and no. I think they still run when they get the opportunity. I think what you saw with that team, especially in December when Patrick Williams was still playing, is you just saw a lot of times where we got deflections and we just went. So it's a little bit different when you're playing a little smaller. So that takes a part in it as well. Any concern about Kobe? No, it's his only second game back from injury. Vooch was invisible on the boards, needed to show a lot more effort. Yeah, that performance on the boards is crazy. This may sound crazy, but without Patrick Williams or Javonte Green next to Boots, he gets exposed on the defensive end. Next to Boots. Enunciate, Shay. Shay, bottom lip. Take your bottom lip, stretch it out, and then just motorboat a bitch, right? And then now get your life together. That's the second thing. And then what the fuck, bro? What? Stop typing so fast, bro. The fact that your keyboard doesn't even have Vooch in it lets me know you misspell Vooch's name way too long. Like at this point, my keyboard, if I'm typing, it knows Vooch. It predicts that I'm trying to say Vooch. You said boots. Boots, bro. Boots. Somebody rocking knock. No, that's not what we doing. I don't sing. I'm not Deanna. But you got, come on, bro. Enunciate. Whether you're using speech to text or typing, pick your goddamn finger. Might as well have your antennas out on this motherfucker, bro. What we doing? What are we doing? The front office built a crap roster and stuck to it like flies on shit. Only thing that they're going to do this offseason is shove their hands. That's crazy, bro. Like, all right, Brian Peck. Like, what are we talking about? Injuries are starting to catch up with the Bulls. Io and Kobe are not used to playing these heavy minutes. I mean, I get it. Yeah, I mean, but hey, get them ready. Keep playing. Don't give up. Make Cornette an offer this offseason. Been there, done that. No. We've done that. We've done that experiment before. I think we're good. I think we're good on that one. Vooch doesn't look like he really cares if we win or lose, kind of like Jay Cutler. That's stupid. Leave Jay Cutler alone. Kobe shooting was off tonight, 3 for 11. Io had a good night. He just didn't have the offensive production that he had the last two games. Vooch didn't show up. Well, the problem is that Vooch did show up. But I mean, listen, Io was off a little bit tonight to start the game. He of course came on a lot better as the game went on. But yeah, I mean, he just at the end of the day, like you can't expect the player to score 30 every single night, especially when they're a role player, right? He still played extremely well, had some good defensive moments as well. Is this if this isn't a sign for Acme to get some size and rebound in this offseason, draft for trades, I don't know what will. 2 to 3 rebounds from our starting center. Cornette G League players had 13. That's hilarious. Honestly, you can tell the main problem with this team is coaching because we've had worse injuries like this in the past, but we still won a lot of games. But that's a bad comparison. Like Shay, you gotta stop. Your comparisons are terrible, Shay. Like Shay would be like, yeah, man, so like I know you asked for 10, but I brought 2. I know this, but get this. But since they're both numbers, how different are they really? Like that's Shay's logic. It'd be like, Shay, you owe me $10. Yeah, but I got 2. And since they're both numbers, am I really not kind of giving you the same thing that you really want? You want numbers. I'm giving you a number. That number's a little bit lower, but if you really look at it, if you really think 2 is not that different from 10 by the nature that they're both still numbers, which means that they're rooted in the same thing. They come from the same place. So therefore, you should be happy. That's the way that Shay tries to drop logic. It'd be like, bro, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? What are we doing? Disappointing loss. Clippers and Celtics come in on second nights of back-to-backs and hand us 2 L's at home. We just aren't good enough. I mean, we know that. We knew that about this team. This team is going to win some damn good games. But they're not ready for that level of competition, man. What's good, Haize? If you had to predict over the last 2 weeks, do you see us being significantly above 500? Significantly above 500? Hell no. Hell no. What are we talking about? Looking forward to the future. Io and Kobe look like a nice backcourt. Hopefully, P will improve as well. These guys will have room to grow as individuals and the chemistry on the court. Yeah, I mean, listen, and that's why building organically, right? I get it. I get why you go and sign and people want to keep veterans, but like when you build organically and you have those players, that's foundation that's being laid, and that's what you're doing with these players for sure. Like we literally watching the game at home and we have 2 less. God, hey, bro, you're killing them right now. Sonogo would have closed the gap for offensive rebounds. Listen, Sonogo's a monster. And I said it on today's daily episode. Like, I know Sonogo's not going to average the 20 and 11 with 1.5 blocks. He's averaging 1.5 blacks, is a little blacker than that. 1.5 blocks and 1.5 steals per game. That's what he's averaging in the G League. He's not going to do that. But even if you got to look at it, even if he does 40% of that, that's an 8 and 8 guy off the bench. That's some really good production, right? Haize, I have something that will make you feel better. The Fighting Illini are showing how a real basketball team can play in Illinois. Listen, I love I got that's why. Listen, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. This live stream is gonna be shorter than my normal post game shows because I'm trying to go watch Illinois. That's it. Love how Bulls competed. To be honest, the roster's just fly. Exactly. We just need more balance. We need more balance. The general, Brandon Eljet Haize, do you think we see Javante playing anytime soon? I don't know, man. I really don't know if he does. I think this would have been a good opportunity had Caruso not come back into the game, but he did. I don't think that that's going to be. I don't think so. We played at home. We lost and we lost. That's embarrassing. I mean, you win some, you lose some. Damn, I'm sad we lost, but I don't think we would have won this game. Honestly, yeah, I didn't come in expecting to win. Now the Bulls did compete throughout most of this game, and that's really what I wanted to see. So they competed really, really well. One and a half blacks per game. This was they must be in the locker room after the game waiting for him. That's crazy. JK, I love the respect and admiration Kobe and Io have for each other. Yeah, and that chemistry really built even Io's rookie year, and it's good to see them continue to grow together. They're about the same age, so they I'm sure they have a lot in common. It's cool, man. Are you saying the Snogo will come in and start slapping the black off players? That's crazy. That's a wild way to look at it. No, I understand. I'm hard on Vooch. It's one thing you can barely give effort and complain about defense being hard. Now you got all this money from an extension to give us 2 damn rebounds. Oh, I wish we got to see Javante play. Yeah, I mean, I would have much rather to win. I like, and then when if a win doesn't come, I could really care less about anything else that we did or didn't get in the game. We didn't get the dub. That's and ultimately it's this. We knew, and I said it. It's really tough for the Chicago Bulls. It's going to be tough for them to get to 500, and it is what it is. Getting to 500 really, really in the grand scheme of things doesn't really mean much for the Chicago Bulls in the end of the season. Now we do have a game against Washington coming up Monday. That could definitely be a game that we can get a tune up in there. Then we have Indiana, Brooklyn, Minnesota, Atlanta, New York. Oh God, man, yeah, this team that we're not beating the 500 allegations. We're not beating those allegations. At some point, a decision needs to be made on Billy Donovan. How can he not be on the hot seat? Because they just gave his contract extension doesn't even kick in until next year, and we still don't know how long it's for. Billy isn't going anywhere. Hey, so is Sanogo the new Debo, the black slapper? That's crazy. That's crazy. Sydney, yeah, I don't think we'll get to 5. No, listen, this is when we'll be at 500 next. Yeah, is everybody listening? When the season starts next year and it starts 0-0, we'll be at 500. That's all you got to know at that point in time. That may be the next time we're at 500. Maybe the next time. If I was the coach, I'll coach better. Hey, well then go apply, Anthony. You're sitting here in YouTube comments where you should be coaching our damn team, Anthony. This is your fault. We're blaming you now for this. This is 120% on you, fam. No, I'm just playing with you. Because he got a secret extension, the AK's not paying. The Reinsdorfs aren't going to pay a second coach. So yeah, he's not going anywhere. We actually get to 400 with that schedule. Do you think we'll get to the first round? Nope. I don't. Right now, I don't expect it. I don't think that's. Listen, it is what it is. The Bulls do own their own first round pick. If we don't make it out the play-in, we get a lottery pick. Now, where that's going to be in the lottery, we'll see. But it is what it is. Do you think we'll get to the first round? No. Guaranteed I'll be dead by the time the Bulls are going to be a playoff team. Hey, bro, no, come on now. Let's not do that. Everybody, you deserve to be alive to have to see it. Come on. Please draft TSJC. If he's on the board, I just don't know if I see AK drafting TSJ with the legal situation. Hey, I think at the before the first game of the season, the Bulls would be below 5. That's crazy. Vooch was getting picked on this game. It's obvious his lack of intensity on the defensive side of things. Well, so was Andre Drummond, though, and he didn't fare much better. They both had bad games, but Vooch's game was terrible. Drum had a bad game. Vooch had one of those games where it's like, do you still really want to do this? Are you sure you still want to do this? Because it feels like you may not want to do this no more. You can either make this team or you can not make this team. Shout out to Wyclef John for the quote. But that's what it's starting to feel like with Vooch at times. But then Vooch has He'll have 5 games in a row where he silently averages over those 5 games 22 and 11. So it's like you got to take the good with the bad, and that's with all players. That's not just with Nikola Vucevic, but it's just when it gets to the point where you're bad, it's kind of outweighing your good. It sucks, right? And every player gets to that point at some point, unless they're smart enough to retire before they see themselves hit that point. So it is what it is, man. Why can we not fire Billy Donovan so I can hire to be coach for the Bulls, man? Because listen, it's not gonna happen. Shouldn't it be a violation against the Bulls for not sending official paperwork to Adam Silver in the league office when Jerry's extending Arturas Eversley and Billy Donovan? Not necessarily. I mean, you don't have to into that. Now with players, it's different, right? But I don't think you have to with coaches until it kicks in technically. And technically, they could agree to it, but who said they actually signed anything? I'd rather whoever we get in the draft is a big and can defend really well again in the paint. We already have spacing. Acme's big definition of someone 6'5", 6'7". I'm talking someone that's at least we don't have spacing though. That's the thing. So they could definitely go spacing. We don't have space. Our spacing is terrible, terrible. So we need more than that. So I could see it. I think it's going to come to best talent available, and whoever they evaluate as having the highest upside, or they could go position. Right? We'll see. Even if the Bulls, TSJ, will he get playing time? Oh, listen, if you draft Terrence Shannon Jr., he's getting playing, and he's going to play. I just don't have any doubts on that. He's going to play. He's going to make sure that you play him because he's going to be that good, especially offensively. And we need some offense, especially off the bench. Yeah, I don't really see if we draft Terrence Shannon Jr. not playing him. I just don't see that. I mean, weirder things have happened, but I don't think he's so good of a talent. We always talk about this. You either draft potential, right, where it's raw and you got to develop them, and sometimes you draft people who have that ready-made NBA skill. Terrence Shannon Jr. at the very minimum is going to average 12 points off the bench for you if he's off the bench. If he's starting, it could be even more than that. He can score the ball right away. He has the move, he has the footwork. Terrence Shannon Jr. is a very smart and intelligent player, and I'll say this. He's not good defensively, but he's no slouch. He's active, kind of like Ernolop, right? Is the fact that we haven't really seen Batum shut anybody down defensively, but he's always active, right? And that's kind of how Terrence Shannon Jr. could go. Mig says, don't get me wrong, Vooch is a good center, but sometimes he lacks grit and heart. Oh, facts, right? And that's what I've said all the time. Like, he's not terrible. Sometimes he has terrible games and output, but Vooch still can definitely help a team. You got to have the right things around him to kind of mitigate some of his shortcomings as a center. Sorry, I keep mentioning the 2 rebounds, but it's hysterical to me to keep myself from getting pissed. Make that the topic or title of your next podcast with Pat and Wilt Chamberlain, Photoshop of Vooch. That's hilarious. Whose role is TSJ taking? Zach and P will be back. Kobe and I will prove themselves. Bro, you always ask me stupid questions. Like, no, I'm just playing with you on that one. But no, if you need scoring off the bench, and don't assume that Zach is going to be back, and don't assume that he's definitely not taking Kobe. But here's the thing: and you say Dalen and Julian have seniority? Not really. Julian was playing over Dalen until he got hurt. So I think it comes down to who's bringing it and what is he bringing at that point in time. Do you see us following an inception to get back cap relief for Lonzo Ball's contract? Because if I'm not mistaken, is he in the last year of his original deal he signed with us initially? Yes, he's in the last deal. To player option, he's definitely picking up that player option. But we'll see, man. If they believe he's going to be cleared, I don't think they do it. I don't think they do it. But yeah, the next season is the last year under his contract. So. But yeah, so lost by the Bulls, man. It sucks. But we'll see what comes on Monday, right? The Bulls, the Wizards are always good to get a tune-up in, right? But with the Bulls, I'm sure they'll push it. It'll be a clutch game in the fourth quarter because that's just what the Chicago Bulls do. That's how we get down. That's how we conduct business around here. Apparently, it is what it is there. But overall, the Bulls competed, and I don't want to echo the words of the front office, but it is what it is, man. We'll see. But all right, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you're following the channel at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. Thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up, but bear that. No, this wrong podcast. Go Bulls, see red. Love you guys. Peace, y'all. Oh, so much Bulls content. Bears content lately.